like I'm just in a what's even the point kind of place right now. And usually if I talk these things out on the camera in the middle of the night, I wind up finding a positive, finding a silver lining or something to focus on. So, and I haven't done one of these in a really long time, as I said, so hopefully I get back into the rhythm of having no idea what I'm going to talk about when I turn on the camera and just talking and finding some point to it all. That's how these things usually go. I think someone just left the house. I don't know. I think someone else just left the house. Okay, I just got interrupted for a second by sounds in the house. There's something about the acoustics. I'm trying to fix my shirt. I just sat on it and it felt weird. Now my water bottle's fallen over because it doesn't want to go. But I'm gonna drink it. It's good stuff. Water that tastes like pineapple coconut. But yeah, the acoustics in this house are weird. Like, I can't ever tell where a sound is coming from. Like, everything sounds like it's coming from somewhere else than where it's actually coming from. Like if someone knocks on a door, we all hear it as though it had been on a different door. So no one ever knows who's knocking on whose door. Like someone was knocking on the front door just now, and I thought it was someone's bedroom door. I can't tell if people are coming in the house or leaving the house. So, it's weird. Yeah, but anyway, because I mean, if I can veer off and find something better to talk about than the poison in my spirit, I'm sure I will. Because I can't really talk about it. That's what I'm realizing. And that is a large part of my present problem. Like there's so much going on that's causing me so much emotional turmoil that I can't talk about. So there's no outlet. It's like I can't tell you about it. Because it's nobody's business. Or it's like it's not just my business. There's just stuff, life stuff, you know. That's causing me great angst. And it kind of magnifies everything else that sucks throughout any given day. So yeah, it's like, how do you talk about it when you can't talk about it? I miss having an actual counselor that I went to. I started doing that when I was taking care of Mom, when she got very, very sick. 2014 or so. And I mean, it saved my life, no doubt. I went at just the right time because you know, I knew I was gonna need someone to help me because I'd been through a ton of traumas. I like back to back to back. And then I wound up having to not having had time to process and heal from any of those things, be my mother's caretaker during the final 6 years of her life. So, you know, I didn't know she was gonna die, I was, at that point, you know, I was hoping she would get better and be able to um, support herself again and such. Like, it never happened, but I mean, that's, I guess, the way life ends for a lot of people, is just the dominoes start to fall. And you can't stop it. This one thing leads to another, and off you go. But yeah, like, so I got in with a group of SMU students that were working out of the Resource Center of Dallas. And it was, you know, I was broke, and it was sliding scale, and I had to pay like $5 a session. It was amazing because they were students, but this was their last semester. They aren't like green. They've worked with people. They knew what they were doing, and there were some really, really, really good ones. Who helped me reframe things and such, and identify things, and, you know, told me what I had without giving me an official diagnosis. Because they couldn't, they were students, even though they answered to a professional guy. You know, all my sessions were recorded. I didn't care. Obviously, I mean, I don't care if my sessions are recorded or if they get out and people listen to them, because this is pretty much what it was like when I was going to the shrink at the resource center. I would just go in and talk and wind up solving a lot of my own issues. But it was good to have someone to talk to and to, you know, validate stuff for me, I guess. You know, it's not just in my head and here's a professional talking to me. And I really miss that. But the program changed. And they weren't going to have the SMU students there anymore. So, but they were going to keep doing counseling, but it was going to be like $60 a session, and I went every week, and so I couldn't do that. And at the time, I thought everything was kind of good. Because it was, for a little minute there, it was good. But then it all went to hell real fast after that. It's like I walked out of an avalanche into a mudslide. That's what happened to me. But I'd gotten through the avalanche, so I thought, alright, I'm good anyway. They're pricing me out. This is a good time to take what I've learned from 6 or 7 or more years, 8, I don't know how many years I did that. Because I did it well. I was still doing it after Mom passed away. So maybe 8 years that I was in counseling. And you know, it was very, very helpful. But I have to go and get an official diagnosis so that I can get the right treatment for, you know, what they all said I got. I mean, they weren't supposed to say things like that, but I mean, to them it was so obvious that they felt like it was ridiculous. Some of them, like a few of them who said it, were like, it felt ridiculous not to say it, like, because it was so obvious what we were dealing with, and you know what how they were treating it from a counseling perspective. So, and it made sense. I mean, I'm just rambling. I might as well see PTSD from just 1.5 million things, but all happening at once. From coming out of an avalanche into a mudslide. That kind of thing. Like, I was going through an avalanche still when I started counseling. But anyway, like, I'm tired of trauma. I'm tired of terrible people. I'm tired of terrible people. That's really, I think, what's triggered me recently, like this week. That's why I'm like in freak out mode in the middle of the night, because I don't know, I'm just now thinking in my head, I'm gonna give this video a title that no one will want to watch, and then like, I can't sleep because birds are weird. I mean, I don't know. Like, so far I'm thinking if I give this was an accurate title, people will watch it, and then, I don't know. But that's what I'm doing. I don't care. I guess it's just, I don't want to feel like I'm exploiting my BS, even though I guess I am. I mean, but that's not really exploiting it for what? It's not like I make money on these videos. I have 24 subscribers. It used to be 25. But I kept making videos, so one of them stopped subscribing. And it's sad. I just had gotten up to 25. Because Matt realized he hadn't subscribed to my channel. And it was like, there, now you have 25. Oh well, I'll get there again, I guess. I mean, if not, whatever. It's cool to have like 25 people or 24 people sitting up with me, watching me vent. I appreciate it very much. Because I do feel kind of heard, you know? Like, if one person watches this video, one person has heard me. Like, I'm real to one person. And myself, I guess. I guess I'm real to 2 people. But that's cool. That's kind of what I get from view counts. Because I clearly go and do everything against the YouTube algorithm, because that's not what I'm doing this for. I'm doing this for fun and because I want to leave a record of myself for kids doing history reports in the 29th century. And I can just be this dude who was alive in the late 20th and early 21st and hopefully early 22nd century too. Maybe I'm still there. Because maybe we all become one with our tech within my lifetime, and we can become biologically immortal. And that would be an interesting experience. To actually be alive, be the generation who got old and then got young again. They just did it with a rat. They've just reversed the age of rats. And the dude, I think, was saying he thinks it'll be offered to humans within 8 years. You know, I'm a little bit more, I don't know what word to use. I want to say cautious, like, about, like, that kind of a bold prediction. 8 years. I mean, it actually is a long time if you think about it. Because I was leaning more towards 30, but I'm not a rat scientist. I, I don't know, like, how to reverse aging. So, I guess I'll take their word for it. 8 years. If we can all make it 8 more years. But that doesn't mean everybody will be able to do it in 8 years. It'll just be available to some people. But it would be cool to be the generation that gets old, like has that whole experience, the last generation to experience old age. And then you get to reverse it. And you're 25 again with you know, like a 90-year-old man's wisdom and experience. The first generation to do that, the only generation to do that, because generations after will never experience old age. They won't experience aging past growing up. So, yeah, so I'm trying to leave a record of myself as just an example of a random human who lived in this really fascinating time in human history. I mean, yeah, that's what it's about to me. It's not about right now, even when it kind of appears to be. Like my vlogs, it's not like I just think everybody needs to know about my daily life. It's more, to me that's way better than a gravestone, a tombstone, you know? To leave behind an imprint of yourself, an immortal imprint of yourself that people can access and listen to and, you know, see what your life was like. Not just a name and a date on a rock, but actually see who you were. See what your struggles were. See what made you tick. See what made you overflow with joy in that time period, in this time period from which I am speaking, and at the present to which I am speaking, but this will only be watched in the present once. After that, it's only going to be viewed in the future. These videos, man, these I can't sleep videos are like my favorite. Because they're so weird. Like, I just sit up and ramble. Nigh incoherently. I don't know. It doesn't. See, I'm feeling better already. Just because I'm laughing, I'm talking to someone. So I guess I'm good. For the moment, I'm good. Because I'm thinking about something else. Like, and the counseling is really good. And that's something, like, yeah, that's sort of the thing. Like, I'm not trying to make everybody, like, in the present feel sorry for me or pity me because I'm having, like, a mental episode. It's more for people in the future. Because, yeah, this will be viewed in the present once. And then it's in the future. It belongs to the future. So, that's who it's for, so they can look back at the past. And that's why I try to be as open and honest as I can in these videos, even in my weird stuff. I guess this, you know, like, I'm like, this isn't weird stuff. This is like watch this video when you're high category stuff. stuff or quality stuff that I'm doing. I wonder if stoned people will find my videos fascinating. Hello, stoned people. I hope you find this video fascinating. And I hope you're thinking about being studied by the future. That's a weird thing to say to someone. I hope you're thinking about being studied by someone in the future. But yeah, I think it's better than being an organ donor. Even. Well, okay, that's a weird thing to say too. It's way better to be a YouTuber than an organ donor. And now I'll have 23 subscribers. But yeah, no, that's not what I meant. And I don't know what I meant. I'm just thinking about what you leave behind. Like, here's my guts. But that's a worthy thing to do because it's then used to extend someone else's life. I guess what I was thinking was it was more finite in nature. Like, it doesn't, as far as leaving a message behind about who we were, which isn't the goal of being an organ donor, so it's weird to compare the two. But it's better than a headstone, that's for sure. It's better than a mummy. Because you're not just leaving your corpse behind, or your name and the date, the year you were born and the year you died. You're leaving your personality behind, your story. And you know, I'm a writer, I'm a storyteller at heart. So that's what I want to do with my YouTube videos. It's not like I'm trying to justify it, I just like to remind myself of that sometimes. Because it makes me feel good about going through hard times. Because I'm leaving someone a story about this early 21st century man, formerly a late 20th century man, and his normal little life. Because that's the most fascinating thing when you look back at history. To me, it's not like the kings and the politicians and the celebrities and the people who were running the world. It's about the everyday people. What was everyday life like for people, for most people? You know, like you'd think, oh, I'd love to live in ancient Rome if you're fascinated by that time period. You know, and you love like the fashion maybe, and the art, and the architecture, and the culture. If you're enamored by that culture, but probably if you have that fantasy, you are not privy to the fact that were you born in ancient Rome rather than in the 20th or 21st century, you would almost certainly have been a slave. Because most people who lived in ancient Rome were slaves. Very few people are the people that they write the stories about. So it's more informative, like it tells you more about human nature, just humanity in general, to know about the day-to-day lives of people in any given time period. But yeah, I mean, to the point though, if there is one, Like, the stuff I'm going through, the stuff I'm dealing with, just, I don't know. Like, how long have I been talking? Because I haven't even gotten into it, really. But again, I think I was realizing more or less that I can't ethically get into it. I can't talk about it. So I bottle it up, and that's a big part of the problem. That's what I was saying. It kind of exacerbates all the little things throughout the day, and I get more triggered than I should in my head. I mean, it is what it is. You feel what you feel. You can't help that. It's the fight to control my responses that gets me. That makes it where I get crazy. Like, darkly crazy. No, I mean, not a danger to anyone but myself. But I'm still here, you know. Take a bit of sleep medicine, talk to the camera, see if things get better. Don't give up. That's my policy, pretty much. So, yeah, and then it's also the fact that there are big things going on. That, you know, and where a medium-sized thing would seem even bigger. But it's all stuff that involves other people, so no details. But, yeah, just, you know, some people are mean. Or just dumb. Or both. The two seem to go hand in hand. Mean and dumb. And I mean, those are kind of the little things, I guess, that have been getting me all day. Just the mean people out there. Just mean-spirited. That's what I can talk about, you know? Like, mean-spirited people are timeless, unfortunately. And I'm just sick of it. Like, it's everywhere. All this toxic crap. Like, no one can talk about anything without crapping on it. It's like even, like, fandoms. I don't like them. Like, I don't like... Like, I guess my three big nerd fandoms would be Star Wars, Star Trek, Masters of the Universe. But I don't like interacting on, like, message boards with people or anything. Like, I'll lurk, I'll read them, but, you know, as soon as the conversation gets toxic, like someone's pissed off that you enjoyed something frivolous that they didn't enjoy and need to, like, insult your entire lineage, or I just lose interest and I have to leave, and I don't want to get involved in something like that. Like, I don't know why I'm using that as an example, but it does make sense, because now it sounds like that's my problem. And it's not. But it's just an example of a place that should be joyful. Like, that should be unconditionally joyful. Like, people having a good time and enjoying a bit of escapism together. Just, you know, He-Man is silly. Why take it so seriously? Like, and I value it so much. I'm not dissing on it because it's silly. That's one of the things I value about it. Like, that's more me. Like, I like something blemishes and all. So, you know, like, time travel on Star Trek is a train wreck. It doesn't make any sense. Like, because it's contradictory. Like, it's just internally inconsistent, and I could go on for an hour just on that, and that's not the point. It's just that I enjoy that about it. I accept that little blemish on a great story, on a great series. In Star Wars, it's the same. Like, Jar Jar was fun. But yeah, I mean, I guess that's how I like people too. Is why I don't get mean people. Like, people do awful things to each other over stupid things. Like, yeah, everybody expects everybody else to be perfect or something, and nobody is, so why would you, an imperfect being, expect everyone else to be perfect? But that's what it all boils down to, I guess. And then we get frustrated with each other because we're not perfect. And maybe we see a bit of our own flaws in another person, but we don't want to see it. We don't want to be confronted with it. And so we despise them for exposing us. That could be it too, or a part of it. I mean, I guess there's a lot of reasons people are mean to each other. But I hate it. Like, I just feel like people should be a little bit more tolerant, if nothing else. Just if it's not hurting you, let it be. Don't get mad at people. Like, don't get mad at people for being vegans. Why? Why are you mad at people because they didn't order meat at a restaurant? How does that hurt you? But people get mad. That's why usually out in the world I don't tell people unless I have to. Like at work, my day job, I wasn't gonna tell anybody that I was vegan. I wasn't gonna make a big deal out of it. I just wasn't going to eat stuff that wasn't vegan. But a friend of mine made a big deal out of it and was telling everybody, and then everybody knew, and now everybody knows. And some people get pissed off about it. And I think it's really weird. I mean, it's really weird. It's a really weird thing to get pissed off about. Just that I don't want to eat meat. I don't know. Because I'm not one of those preachy vegans. Maybe I am. I don't know. I don't know myself. You tell me. But I don't think I am. Like, if you want to know why I'm vegan, I'll tell you if you ask me. But I'm not going to assault people while they're eating a steak to tell them all the horrors of the beef industry. I'm just not gonna order a steak. That's me. I'm just doing me. And people get mad, like, they get mad at stuff like that, like just weird stuff. And like, I think it's really weird. It's a weird thing to get mad about, like people's sex lives. Like, other people's sex lives. Why are you angry about it? I don't get it. And gender and labels and pronouns. Why does that make you angry? Because it's literally not hurting you. But that's right, people in the 29th century. Us hicks back here in the 21st, We're not that enlightened a bunch. It's probably why we were replaced by robots. uh, Robots that we created. I'm hoping we become the robots. That's what I vote for. But yeah, okay, so why are you angry that someone identifies as whatever gender? Because it affects you not at all. And how does it hurt you to just be nice to someone, to just respect them? Like, how does it hurt you to show someone respect who's perfectly willing to be respectful to you as far as your identity? It's like, maybe you identify as a nice person, but we can all tell you're an asshole. I don't know. But we still, because you identify as a nice person, we'll be nice to you, I guess. I don't know. I'm not making very good points because I'm insane. Anyway, so I don't know if you can tell that, like, part of my eyebrow is white. Here's a nice story to wrap up and close on, because I mean, maybe I'm wrapping up and closing. You never know. I never want to stop talking. But yeah, so when I was 15, I was working on a Christmas tree lot. And like, the Christmas trees came in these tight nets. And we had these rings that we put on our finger that had this hook on them, a bladed hook. And so we'd put the ring down into the net and just pull, and it would cut open. And then we'd get out the big fluffy Christmas tree. Like, fluff out the branches and stand it up. Or take it to somebody's car or whatever. But I needed to get a particular tree for someone, and I couldn't find the ring with the bladed hook. And so I found a pair of hedge clippers, and I stuck them into the net, right? And I tried to cut it, but it wouldn't cut. And so I just kept pulling and pulling, and finally it cut it and went bam! And I hit myself in the face with all of my strength with a pair of hedge clippers. And blood was all over my face. And like, I was 15, and the adult women who were there wanted to send me home. They were very concerned that I had a concussion or something, that I needed to go to the doctor. And the adult men who were there were like, "Nah, he's fine." And they're like, his entire face is covered in blood and he's still bleeding. He'll be alright, just clean it up. So, I mean, story of my life. That's called being raised by baby boomers. But I'm not much different. I mean, when it comes to, well, no, so I don't know. I'm a little bit more concerned, I guess. Because that's not the only time that I was bleeding profusely, possibly with a concussion, where adult men were just like, he's fine. Because one time at my grandma's house, I got a ladder kicked over onto my head, a big metal ladder. And I was a little kid, and I walked inside, and I was walking through the hall, and my head itched. So I put my hand up, and my hair was gooey, And I was just like, what is wrong with my hair? And I pulled my hand down and it was covered in blood. And the women were like, boy needs stitches. And the men were like, boy fine. Jeez, how am I alive? Like, now all these crazy stories are coming to mind. But the point I was getting at was my eyebrow. So, like, after that injury at the Christmas tree lot, just half of my eyebrow from here to here turned stark white. And I also used to have like a triangle in the summer that would not tan. So I'd be all tanned, except I'd have this pale triangle over my half white eyebrow. And I didn't really care at first. But then, I go to school and everyone comes up to me every day. Well, I guess different people come up to me every day. And this is what they said. Did you know that you have a white eyebrow? And I'm like, yeah, I knew that about myself. I have a mirror at home. We're rich. We have a mirror. I guess these people think nobody has mirrors. It's like everybody's house, like, apartment comes with a mirror, generally. I know I have a white eyebrow. And like, some of the goth chicks liked it at my high school. They thought I was cool. They thought I did it on purpose. They thought that I bleached half of my eyebrow white. But most people didn't think it was cool. They thought it was something I needed to be made aware of. And then it wasn't just at school. Like, I'd go to, I was at the checkout at a grocery store and the cashier says to me these exact words. Did you know that you have a white eyebrow? And I started to get so sick of that question and the implication that I don't know what color my eyebrow is, that I started coloring it. Like, I got this little crayon thing and I've been using that on my eyebrow ever since I was 15, but the one I have just ran out and I don't get another one until Thursday. So I've been using little chunks that I dug out, so I got some of it, but it's kind of come off now, so you see part of my half-white eyebrow. Fun fact for the 29th century to ponder. This kid raised by barbarians had a half-white eyebrow. Right. But yeah, that's the only reason I started coloring it, because I didn't want people to keep coming up and saying, did you know that you have a white eyebrow? So why are people stupid? But then some people would get mean about it. Like the bullies, the people who had way worse home lives. I mean, the people who actually were being raised by bullies, almost certainly. I mean, to me, saying, he'll be alright, that's not being a bully. I mean, I did that when I was a youth minister. That was generally my attitude. And I was always right. I mean, I would take things seriously, but I was kind of a you fall off the horse, you get back on the saddle kind of mentor. Like, don't let this stop you, don't give up. aside from serious injuries, I guess, if a kid was bleeding profusely out of his head, I wouldn't say, oh, he'll be alright. But I guess that's the difference. And maybe they honestly thought I'd be alright, and I was fine every time. Like, what were the doctors gonna do? I'd still have half a white eyebrow. At least that tan thing went away. I do get a full tan on my forehead now when I'm out in the sun a lot. But yeah, so I do feel better. Thank you for letting me rant and rave, and maybe the next one will have a little bit more focus. I don't know. I don't know how this lighting's going to come out either. This is the first time I've done one of these in the new house. But anyway, if you like my I can't sleep videos, I really hope you do, because they're dumb. Just put them on. Put them on when you're trying to go to sleep, or at least put them on in the background. You don't have to watch me. That's what I do with videos like this. People just talking. But see, I don't know how to stop talking. I just would keep going. Except I'm worried about my camera running out of room, so I'm going to continue to wrap this up. It may take another hour yet. I don't know. I'm just here. I mean, I'm still kind of freaking out a little, but I feel lighter. I feel way lighter since I talked it out here with y'all, with you people in the present, and all the oceans of people in the future who are going to listen to me talk, and are listening to me talk. All time is now. That's what I think. Let's go on another tangent, shall we? No. We're going to wrap up. So, right, if you like these videos, I hope you will subscribe. I need my 25th subscriber back. That would be lovely. I vlog on here too. And I do a little weird thing. I don't even know what it is, called Conversations in Sunglasses, which kind of, I guess, should be a podcast, but it's not. It's a YouTube series where, I just talk with someone else. It's like this, but with someone else. Someone else probably equally stupid. Or brilliant. I don't know. What's the difference? Just how you look at it. That's what. No, because you can be legitimately wrong or legitimately right. Okay, I'm going to go on another I just haven't done one. I've missed y'all. I've missed doing these I can't sleep videos. Clearly I can't let it go. But right, so I do all these different things, and I've got a podcast on another channel with my friend Matt Paul called Autodidactica, and it's nothing like this. That one is actually, we put effort into it, and I really love doing that podcast. But you can find that on YouTube. I'm a novelist. You can find my books. I've got 11 books out that you can read. You can go to my website for links to all of that, glensladeclarkjr.com. Man, I'm done selling myself now, so I guess I have to actually go. But I really do appreciate you listening to my rants, my late night rants, and we'll do it again. We'll do it again soon. Thanks for sitting up with me.